What is going on, Jerome's? Happy Victory Monday out there to those who celebrate. Actually, it was back-to-back Victory Sundays for the Vikings. Love to see it. Also, I am freaking in love with this hoodie. So I've had it for a while. Vikings hoodie. It's a short sleeve. Is it a Nike one? Yeah. But what's best about it is this hood. It's like I feel like Kenny from South Park. Maybe I should just do the video like this, and it'll be like a Lady Gaga one. No, they need to see my eyes. Very tough to see my eyes because I'm Asian. Anyways, Minnesota Vikings are 12-3 on the season, and on Monday you tell the truth. Tell the truth. This is gonna be a weird week because literally nothing is gonna get done. Like, you at your job, think about it. Everyone's gonna be dragging ass. Like, everything's gonna be happening in 2023. So just take this week off, please. But we want to talk about the Vikings. We got 10 truths in Tell the Truth Monday. First up, number 1. 12-3 is not a fluke. So I understand that all the national media jabroni haircuts want to point to the close games. They got down 33 points against the Colts. They did this and blah 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 blah. Point differential. But what about DVOA and blah, blah, blah. Like, honestly, the media analysts and like the football nerds are cooking up new analytics to try and prove that the Vikings are garbaggio, but and it happened, man. And we've last couple of years we've wondered, like, hey, what would happen if the Vikings actually win these close games? Guess what? It's happening this year. 11-0. NFL record in single score games, and they're finding ways to win close games. Doesn't matter how it happens, but they find a way to get it done. They make a play right at the end, whether it's the offense and Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson, or the defense gets a sack or a takeaway. Doesn't matter, they're getting it done. 12-3. It's ceasing to be a fluke at this point. Next up, number 2, Justin Jefferson is the NFL MVP. Now, everyone's going to say Jalen Hurts, even though he is literally hurt, and everyone's going to say Mahomes. Now, my money is still on Mahomes, but Jefferson needs to finish top 3. Like, I don't want to hear about Josh Allen. I don't want to hear about Joe Burrow. I don't want to hear about anyone else except for Justin friggin' Jefferson, because he is literally carrying this team on his back, and he and Kirk Cousins are orchestrating this passing game, man. 123 receptions, leading the National Football League, 1,756 yards, leading the NFL, approaching the record of Megatron as well as JJ2K, plus he has 8 touchdowns this season. So, I mean, also, wouldn't you love Jefferson to drop like a 4-piece, like him at LSU against Oklahoma in the college football semifinals? Just dropping 4 tutties, just getting back into the Triple Crown race. Would love to see it. But yeah, Jefferson. I mean, without Jefferson, what are the Vikings? Like 6-9, nice. If that, maybe. But Jefferson has completely elevated things, and he is going to be that dude. Next up, number 3. Kevin O'Connell needs to let Justin Jefferson go for the record. Now, I understand you want to rest guys. You want to have them completely healthy and rested for the playoff run. I fully understand that. But you can look at it as fortunately. I think that the Vikings with the Niners and with the Eagles, I think that there's a chance that the Vikings won't have any chance to rest guys, where they'll have to play their best game against the Packers week 17. They'll have to play their best game against the Bears week 18 if they want to maintain the 2 seed. And also, don't discount the Saints. All right, discount the Saints. But what if they go into Philly, and find an upset? Any given Sunday, they go into Philadelphia at noon. All of a sudden, Eagles lose, and if the Eagles lose again week 18 against the G-Men, who could be fighting for a playoff spot at that point, all of a sudden the Vikings have a chance for the 1 seed. Woo! Absolutely love to see it, man. Would love and adore it. But yeah, Kevin O'Connell needs to let Justin Jefferson go for the record. He needs 208 yards to pass Megatron, to match Megatron at 1964, the current NFL record. 244 for 2K. And how about Jefferson just gets it all against the Packers? Would love to see that, man. Would be fantastic. The weather is actually supposed to be pretty decent too. Next up, number 4. Kirk is taking too much punishment. Yesh. Now, beyond punishment of us putting him on the losers list. But Kirk, he's been a stud throughout this entire season. And the offensive line, even though it's been much improved, especially with Christian Darrisaw, we'll get to him in a sec, Kirk has taken a lot of unnecessary hits. 125 hits, by far leading the NFL, 44 sacks through 15 games. It's not good. It isn't. And you've seen Kirk Cousins. Maybe he's getting a little bit hesitant, maybe a little bit gun shy because he is taking so many hits. Like, you saw his knuckles on throwing hand after the game. And also he's relatively light. Like, he is a smallish quarterback in terms of weight and frame. So It's something that they got fixed. Whether it's Kevin O'Connell calling quicker developing pass plays, or Kirk Cousins getting rid of the ball faster, or the offensive line stepping up, something's got to happen, man. Next up, number 5. Christian Darrisaw is elite. So I understand it's a bit of a juxtaposition, but Christian Darrisaw is the absolute man. Now, PFF did ding Darrisaw for giving up the Azeez Ujulari sack. I do not put that on him at all. He pushed Azeez out of the pocket, past the play, and Kirk didn't step up. In fact, he drifted a little bit. It was almost like an Aaron Brooks sack. So, no, I don't put that sack on him. But, I mean, the Vikings have a truly elite and well-rounded left tackle. So he's got size. He can move. He gets out in the open field. He's great in the run game. Pass sets, he is elite. Because remember, Kevin Thibodeau came in. He had like 12 tackles. He had a strip sack. He had all the sacks against the commies, and he was erased. He had one pressure during that game, and it wasn't even on Darrisaw. So, I mean, Christian Darrisaw just takes elite edge rushers on the blind side and just puts them in a blender. He really does. And it says a lot that Kirk is getting hit that much when you have an elite franchise left tackle. So everyone else, especially that interior, needs to step up. Number 6, extending Hockenson is a priority. So TJ is going to be playing on his 5th-year option next year, but he's already shown that he is an elite tight end. I think that he will quickly become top 3, and 13 catches, a franchise record against the Giants, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. That was his breakout game, man. Plus, he is 3rd on the team in receptions with 52. He's only been here 8 of the 15 games, which speaks to the level of chemistry that he and Kirk already have. So I think that the 3 pillars of the Vikings offense going forward is going to be Jefferson, Hockenson, and Darrisaw. Now, Kirk is obviously playing some of the best ball of his career, but he is 34. Going to be 35 next year. So for the future, it's going to be those 3. Next up, number 7. Defense bends, and then takes. So it's not even bend but don't break. It's bend and then take. So they gave up 445 yards of offense to Daniel frickin' Jones. So now they've allowed 400-plus yards in 6 of the last 7 games, which is no bueno. But they also have 23 takeaways and 32 sacks, and they just have this knack of making a play when you need it. So it is what it is. I'm fine with it currently. I'm glad that Donatel, since halftime of the Colts game, has really gotten after, really calling blitzes, really calling press man. But you saw the Giants. I mean, Brian Daboll's not a dummy, so he recognized that, and then all of a sudden started calling these quick in-cutting routes, the slants, the digs, the crossers, and they're eating up the man coverage. So it is what it is there, but just be aggressive. Continue to be aggressive. Next up, number 8, Duke Shelley needs to stay a Viking. So Duke Shelley was Pro Football Focus's number 4 cornerback for Week 16, led the team in tackles, has 25 tackles so far as a Viking, 6 passes broken up. And remember, this was a guy who was let go by the Bears. And the Bears definitely could use some help in that secondary, man. But his man coverage is solid. Absolutely love his attitude. The cornerbacks love talking about him in the media, even unprompted. So Duke Shelley, I think he's got a great attitude. I think he's a phenomenal outside cornerback, despite his size. He's a little bit of Antoine Winfield light, given his size, his tackling ability, and just his knack for making plays. I love Duke Shelley, and they need to extend him and keep him in purple for the foreseeable future. Number 9. Will Kevin O'Connell balance rest? So, just putting together, reading the tea leaves from his comments, it does seem like he's kind of okay if they have the 3 seed, where obviously it's not what you want, but he's kind of okay with it, where you're going to have a home playoff game, whatever, but it will affect you in the divisional round versus a 2 versus 3. If you're the 2 seed and you win wild card, you're guaranteed a second home game and potentially have a better shot at potentially hosting the NFC title game if Philly slips up, if they are the 1 seed indeed. But you saw it in the Giants game where they're rotating out Harrison Smith for Josh Metellus. They're rotating out Eric Kendricks, who was dinged up too. Jordan Hicks got a breather. I mean, they didn't take Za'Darius out, but it's something that they have to consider. So, yes, it is a balance. You want to win these games. You want to give yourself the best chance possible to have the best possible playoff seed, whether it's one or 2. No, you'll settle for 3 because that's the worst you can do, but you want 1 or 2. But also, you do want guys healthy going into the playoffs. So, I mean, this is a big test for Kevin O'Connell and his leadership ability as a head coach. Next up, number 10. Beautiful to end the Packers season on Sunday. So the Vikings can effectively end the 7-8 Packers season. Their chances to make the playoffs drop down to near 0 if and when the Vikings do win on Sunday. And even though they're 3.5-point underdogs and all the national media just like wanking, just creaming in their jeans, talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Hey, who wants to play the Packers? We'll play the Packers. Hell, if even if the Vikings win on Sunday and the Packers still somehow sneak in and the 7th seed and the Vikings end up the 2 seed, bring it. Bring it. US Bank Stadium, Vikings versus Packers, round 3. Let's go. Let's go, man. But that's it. That's 10 truths about the 12-3 Minnesota Vikings. Oh. Sorry, I'll show my face again. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull, production value.